Ever wonder if a commercial-grade beverage fridge is really worth pulling into a home kitchen, or if you'd be better off just stacking a few coolers in the garage? Who's this actually good for, who should skip it, and does the price make sense for the everyday buyer who just wants cold drinks at the ready? If you're on the fence, you're not alone. There's a lot of hype around these big capacity units, and a lot of confusion about whether they belong in a family room versus a bar. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's break it down by looking at how the BODEGACOOLER 321-liter beverage refrigerator actually performs in real life, what kind of setup it needs, and where you'll get the most bang for your buck. First off, the biggest question people ask is whether the size matters. At 321 liters, you're looking at a fridge that can hold roughly 300 cans and 160 bottles. For a homeowner with a home bar, a summer party habit, or a small business that serves drinks, that capacity can be a game changer. Imagine a weekend barbecue where the grill is on, kids are running around, and you have a dedicated cooler that lets you pull a beer straight from the front without hunting through a maze of ice buckets. The interior LED lighting makes those cans pop, and the single-door design means you only have one spot to reach into, which is a real convenience when you're juggling a plate and a drink. But if your typical use case is more modest, say, a family that drinks a few sodas a week or a roommate who just likes a cold bottle now and then the sheer volume becomes a waste of floor space and money. The unit measures about 70 centimeters wide and 90 centimeters tall, so you'll need a dedicated corner in your kitchen, mudroom, or garage. Users with cramped kitchens often end up blocking a pantry or shifting other appliances to make room. If you don't have the real estate, the fridge becomes a storage monster that you'll have to navigate around rather than enjoy. In those cases, a smaller countertop cooler or a traditional mini fridge would cover the need without the extra footprint. Now, let's talk about the everyday experience. The BODEGACOOLER uses a 7-level low-noise compressor that claims quiet operation, and in practice the hum is barely noticeable, perfect for an open-plan living area or a garage where you don't want a clangy refrigerator as background noise. The automatic defogging system is also a plus. It keeps the glass from getting foggy after you open the door repeatedly, which is something you'll notice during long gatherings when the door gets popped open every few minutes. The glass door stays clear, so you can spot the exact can you need without pulling out the whole shelf. There are no surprising temperature swings either. The unit keeps its interior at a steady 34°C even on hot days, which is reassuring if you're storing both beer and soda and want each to stay crisp. On the flip side, the cooling performance does depend on where you place the unit. The compressor works best in an environment that's not already hot. If you stick it in a garage that reaches 30°C on a summer afternoon, you'll notice the compressor kicking on more often, which slightly raises your electricity bill. The unit draws about 0.75 kilowatts at peak, so while it's not a cost killer, it's something to factor into a monthly energy budget, especially if you're running it 24/7. Another practical weakness is the rear ventilation. The fridge needs at least a few inches of clearance behind it for proper airflow. In a tight garage or a packed pantry, you could see the unit work harder, which can shorten the compressor's lifespan over time. If you're a small business owner, think a coffee shop, a boutique bar, or a co-working space with a need to showcase a variety of drinks, the BODEGACOOLER is a very strategic buy. The display quality is high enough that the inside looks almost like a boutique showcase. Customers can see the brand labels clearly, which can boost impulse sales. The anti-sliding casters mean you can roll the unit to a different spot for events or when you need to clean the floor, and the sturdy metal frame handles that mobility without wobbling. For a home user who loves to entertain, the fridge can become a focal point. Imagine a game night where the drinks are lined up, lit, and ready without you having to shuffle from the kitchen. That convenience translates into less time spent fetching drinks and more time actually enjoying the party. Conversely, if your budget is tight and you're hunting for a simple storage solution, the price tag might feel steep. The unit sits in the higher-end range for beverage coolers, largely because of the commercial-grade features: large capacity, LED lighting, and a tough exterior. For a family that doesn't need to display drinks but just wants a place to keep a few bottles cold, a standard under-counter fridge or even a good quality cooler with ice would be a more